Book 2, Iliad. Book 2. Zeus sends a lying dream to Agamemnon, who thereon calls the chiefs in assembly, and proposes to sound the mind with his army. In the end, they march to fight, analogue of the Achaean and Trojan forces. Now the other gods and the armed warriors on the plains was foundly, but Zeus was wakeful, for he was thinking how to do honor to Achilles, and destroy much people at the ships of the Achaeans. In the end, he deemed it would be best to send a lying dream to King Agamemnon, so he called one to him and said to it, a lying dream, go to the ships of the Achaeans, and to the tent of Agamemnon, and say to him, if word as I now bid you, tell him to the Achaeans assembly under arms, for he shall take Troy. There are no longer divided counsels among the gods. Hera has brought them to her own mind, and woe betides the Trojans. The dream went when it had heard its message, and soon reached the ships of the Achaeans. It sought Agamemnon son of Atreus, and found him in his tent wrapped in a profound slumber. It hovered over his head in the likeness of Nestor son of Neleus, whom Agamemnon honored above all his counselors, and said, you are sleeping, son of Atreus, one who has the welfare of his host, and so much other care upon his shoulders, should dock his sleep. Hear me at once, for I come as messenger from Zeus, who, though he be not near, yet takes thought for you and pities you. He bids you, the Achaeans, instantly in your arms, where you shall take Troy. For there are no longer divided counsels among the gods. Hera has brought them over to her own mind, and woe betides the Trojans at the hand of Zeus. Remember this, and when you take that it does not escape you. The dream then left him, and thought of things that were surely not to be accomplished. He thought on the day as he was to take the city of Priam, but he little knew that was the mind of Zeus, who had many other hard-fought fight in store alike for Goddess and Trojans. Then presently he awoke with the divine message so ringing in his ears. So he sat upright and put on his soft shirt so fair, and knew over this his heavy cloak. He bound his sandals onto his comely feet, and slung his silver-studded sword about his shoulders. Then he took the imperishable staff of his father, and sallied forth to the ships of the Achaeans. The goddess Dawn now wended her way to vast Olympus, that she might herald the day to Zeus and to the immortals. And Agamemnon sent the criers round to call the people in assembly, so they called them, and the people gathered thereon. But first he summoned a meeting of the elders at the ship of Nestor, king of Pylios, and when they were assembled, he laid a cunning counsel before them. My friends, he said, I have had a dream from heaven in the dead of night, and its face and figure resemble none but Nestor's. It hovered over my head and said, you are sleeping, son of Atreus, one who has the welfare of his host, and so much other care upon his shoulders, should dock his sleep. Hear me at once, for I am a messenger from Zeus, who though be not near, yet takes a thought for you and pities you. He bids you get the Achaeans instantly under arms, for you shall take Troy. There are no longer divided counsels among the gods. Hera has brought them over to your own mind, and woe betides the Trojans at the hands of Zeus. Remember this. The dream then vanished, and I awoke. Let us now, therefore, arm the sons of the Achaeans, that it will be well, and then I should first sound them, and to this end I will tell them to fly with their ships, but do you others go about among the hosts and prevent their doing so. He then sat down, and Nestor the king of Pylos, with all sincerity and goodwill addressed them thus, my friends, said he, princes and counselors of the Argives, if any other man of the Achaeans have told us of this dream, we should have declared it false, and would have nothing to do with it. But he who has seen it in the foremost man among us, we must therefore set about taking the people under arms. With this he led the way from the assembly, and the others, the separate kings, rose with him in obedience to the word of Agamemnon. Let the people press forward to hear. They swarmed like bees that sally from some hole or cave, and floating countless strong among the spring flowers, bunched in knots and clusters. Even so did a mighty multitude pour from the ships and tents of the assembly, and rang themselves upon the white-watered shore, while among them ran wildfire rumor, messenger of Zeus, urging them shattered before. Thus they gathered in a pell-mell of mad confusion, and the earth groaned under the tramp of men as the people sought their places. 9 heralds went crying about among them to stay their tumult, and bid them listen to the kings till at last they were got into the several places and ceased their clamor. The king Agamemnon rose holding his scepter. This was the work of Hephaestus, who gave it to Zeus the son of Cronos. Zeus gave it to Hermes, the slayer of Argus, who died, and guardian King Hermes gave it to Pelops, the mighty charioteer, and Pelops the archiest shepherd of his people. Atreus, when he died, left it to Theseus, rich in flocks, and Theseus in his turn left it to the born of Agamemnon, that he might be lord of all the Argos and the Isles. Laying them on his scepter, he addressed the Argives. My friends, he said, heroes, servants of Ares, the hand of heaven has been laid heavily upon me. Cruel Zeus gave me his solemn promise that I should sack the city of Priam before returning, but he has played me false and is now letting me go ingloriously back to Argos of the loss of much people. Such is the will of Zeus, who has laid my proud city in the dust. He will yet lay others where his power is above all. It will be a sorry tale hereafter that the Achaean host had once so great and valiant battle in vain against men fewer in number than themselves, but as yet the end is vain against men fewer in number than themselves, but as the end is not in sight. Think that the Achaeans and Trojans have sworn to solemn covenants, that they have been outnumbered, the Trojans by the roll their householders, and we by companions of 10. Think further, and each of our companions desire to have a Trojan householder to pour out their wine. We are so greatly more in number that full many of the company would have to go without its cupbearer. They have in their town allies from other places, and it is these that hinder me from being able to sack the rich city of Ilium. 9 of Zeus's years are gone, and the timber of our ships have rotted. Their tackling is sound no longer. Our wives and little ones at home look anxiously for our coming, but the work that we came hither to do has not been done. Now therefore let us all do as I say. Let us sail back to our own land, for we shall not take Troy. With these words we moved to the hearts of the multitude, so many of them as knew not the cunning counsel of Agamemnon. They surged to and fro like the waves of the Icarian Sea, when the east and south winds break from heaven's clouds to lash them, or as when the west wind sweeps over a field of corn, and the hearers bow beneath the blast. Even so were they swayed as they flew with loud cries towards the ships, and the dust from under their feet rose heavenward. They cheered each other on to draw the ships into the sea. They cleared the channels in front of them. They began taking away the stays from underneath them, and the mountain rang with their glad cries. So eager were they to return. Then surely the Argives would have returned after a fashion that was not fated. But Hera said to Athena, alas, daughter of Aegis-bearing Zeus, and wherewithal shall the Argives fly home into their own land over the broad sea, and leave Priam and the Trojans the glory of still keeping Helen, for whose sake so many of the Achaeans have died at Troy, far from their homes. Go about at once among the hosts, and speak fairly to them, man by man, that they may draw not their ships into the sea. Athena was not slack to do her bidding. Down she darted from the topmost summit of Olympus, and the moment she was at the ships of the Achaeans, there she found Odysseus, fear of Zeus, and counsel standing alone. He had not as yet laid a hand upon his ship, for he was grieved and sorry. So she went close up to him and said, Odysseus, noble son of Beatrice, are you going to fling yourself into the ships and be off home to your own land in this way? Will you leave Priam and the Trojans the glory of the still keeping Helen, for whose sakes so many